Hello everyone, and today we're going to do a case study of keywords to use in your online product titles. Before we begin, let's explain what we mean by keywords and product titles. Quite simply, eBay or really Amazon or any online marketplace will take your title and it will split it up into words which will define as keywords. So as an example here, I searched for iPhone on eBay. And this is just a random item, but if you look at the words here in this title, this is really keywords one at a time. Apple is a keyword here, iPhone, 6S, Plus, 64, GB for gigabyte, and so on. Every word here is a keyword. And people sometimes misunderstand what is a keyword and what is a title. A title is simply a combination of keywords that a search engine will use to display your item to whoever is searching for it. Let's check which item I wanted to show you here and which item we're going to do a case study for. The item is actually sea glass. And if you don't know what sea glass is, if you're ever at the beach, you will notice sometimes there's little pebbles that look like glass. But it's not sharp because what happened was the sea or the water, it corroded it into a little pebble so it doesn't have sharp edges any longer. And these sea glasses are actually used for a lot of things, but among them is jewelry. So jewelers might buy this stuff, these little sea glasses, and depending on the rarity of this item, the color, the size, and so on, it might fetch a higher or a lower price. But the case study we're doing here is actually about keywords. Let's see what we can do for free on MarkSite. MarkSite is a tool for researching keywords, among other things. So let's say I have a bunch of sea glasses in my hand right now, and that's all I really know about it, is that it's sea glass, and I just know that it is a craft item. So this is something you can do for free. You can go to MarkSite, you can search this, and you will get a breakdown of the most common keywords for this item per price range. So for example, in the $13 range, these are the most common keywords used. $17, these are the most common keywords used, etc. All the way up to nearly $70. All right, so how can we use this to use keywords or to build a title for my item that will fetch a higher price? Because ideally, I will sell this for much larger than $13. Ideally, it'll go for as much as 70, but if it doesn't, I won't be so upset. I will be upset if it goes for 30. This also, by the way, I should mention that this also gives you a sort of a guideline of keywords to avoid. And later on, I'll show you a specific auction on eBay that I thought was a good example of that, of keywords to be avoided. Please study this. Imagine you're holding sea glass in your hands, and which additional keywords do you want to use? Well, for one thing, I would use maybe the word rare. And probably, of course, the word sea glass in it as well. But I like rare because it defines for the user the scarcity of the item. If you don't mention that it's rare, maybe some people won't know that it's rare. Glassy, large, genuine. Genuine is something I actually see repeated quite frequently. Genuine, genuine, genuine. So I'm thinking that's probably an important keyword to have. One more point to mention here is that the statistics here are showing only sold items. So it's not showing items that did not sell, because those items are sort of useless for us. They didn't sell, nobody wants them, so they're not included in the statistics. We're looking at actual sold items. So again, sea glass, large, genuine, surf, beach, tumbled. This is an important thing here, surf, beach, tumbled. I just know, well, maybe you didn't, but if you research this, certain sea glass are going to be surf, beach, tumbled. This means that it was shaped and formed by nature itself. So the beach and the water actually did the tumbling, and it took away all the sharp edges and it formed the glass. Nowadays, everybody is businesslike, so they can even manually shape them and try to sell them as natural stones, which they aren't. And we're interested in the ones that we find simply on the beach. So this is an important keyword to have. Genuine, surf, beach, tumbled. Maybe frosty, maybe ultra, maybe mega. Rare are like rare. Even epic. Epic is a great keyword that I wouldn't have thought to use here. Maybe epically rare or epic rare. Mega rare. Frosty again. I like Frosty because we're now getting into a higher price range. Of course, we're also getting colors like pink. I'm supposing that pink is probably a rare kind of sea glass. Lavender is also probably even rarer. Cornflower is a shape of a sea glass. I think you're starting to get a good idea that even though we started out with just sea glass, but now we know we should be using genuine, we should be using rare, we should be using also surf beach tumbled. Let's take a look at the research application of Marksite. This is now the paid section, but I just wanted to quickly show you how I even discovered this. I was browsing around crafts. I like crafts, and I found sea glass, and I can see that right now it's actually selling at great prices, sea glass. And I actually live by the sea, so I'm thinking I might go out and actually get some and try and sell them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I can show you that if we search for sea glass going back 2 months, remember on the main free site, this is only going back 2 weeks or even 7 days actually. But if we have 2 months of data, we can now, with 2 months worth of data, we now have much more sold items to research. So one thing I notice here again is that even rarest is a great keyword. Genuine is repeated a lot. It's actually repeated in pretty much every category. Surf beach tumbled as well. And our resulting title might look something like this auction. This is a great title, by the way. You'll notice that not even one word is useless here. Every word is doing some kind of job to guide the search engine into bringing whoever is searching for sea glass towards me. That's what a great title will do. It will do exactly that task. It'll be as short as possible, no longer than needed. Notice this one is 10 words. 10 words is a great length for a title. And I like it. I simply love this title. And you'll notice the price it fetches. It's also a great picture. It's great because you can see exactly the shape of every single stone in the set that you're going to get. So again, let's take a look at the title. Genuine Beach Sea Glass. Cobalt blue is the type of this sea glass. That's the color. It's a lot. And it's surf tumbled rare. Nothing extra, not too long, and gets the job done. Now here's an example of a poor title. First of all, let's take a look at the picture. Looking at this picture, you can never guess what's the shape of every stone here. It's just a mix. No, the person that didn't do the work here to lay them out properly so you can see them. They just sort of put them on the table and in the mix and just snapped the picture, and that was it. But besides that, take a look at the title here. First of all, it's really the same item, okay? It's really the exact same item. But the title is different. The title, first of all, is also 10 or 11 words. It's got genuine, it's got sea beach glass, but it's got a few useless words here that I would guess caused this person to get a much lower price. 200 very teeny jewelry quality. Of course they're very teeny. All of them are sort of teeny. But why mention this in the title? Why mention that it's a very teeny stone? They're all really teeny, tiny. But just mentioning this and wasting your space, the precious 2 or 3 words that you had, that you could have used here, you just wasted them on something that's actually driving people away. Jewelry quality, they're all basically jewelry quality, so no need to mention this. No mention that it's rare. No mention that it's sea surf tumbled. It is mentioned in the subtitle. Only authentic surf tumbled sea glass is sold here. But you know what? It's a little too late. You should have mentioned this in the title. I hope this helps you guys. Just to repeat, you can do this research absolutely for free on the main website of Marksite. If you want to get additional time frames, so go longer than 7 days, up to 2 months, you can subscribe for the gold membership to do that. And with the gold membership, you will of course also get over 10,000 top selling items as a list that you can just search, browse, and get ideas of what to sell.